Beyond Fitness, the revolutionary path to whole self healing. Have you ever noticed how we talk about our bodies as if they're separate from who we are? My body is failing me. I need to get my body in shape. As if we're somehow floating above these physical vessels, disconnecting from the very thing that carries us through life. This disconnection isn't just semantic, it's symptomatic of a deeper fracture in how we approach wellness, especially for women and particularly for Black women. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Sheletia Shay Gordon, a visionary in the holistic wellness space whose work is literally transforming lives. Shay isn't just another wellness expert. She's a revolutionary healer who has dedicated her life to helping women, especially Black women, reclaim their wholeness in a world determined to fragment them. Her approach combines ancient wisdom with cutting edge science, all filtered through her profound understanding of the unique challenges women of color face in their wellness journeys. What struck me most about our conversation wasn't just her impressive credentials or the depth of her knowledge, though both are remarkable. It was how she has fundamentally reimagined what healing looks like when we stop fragmenting ourselves into separate parts. The wisdom Shay has shared isn't just inspiring, it's revolutionary. And today, I want to unpack three profound insights from our conversation that could completely transform how you think about your health, your identity, and your power. Let's start with something that sounds deceptively simple: the mind body connection. We've all heard this phrase, right? It's become almost a wellness cliche. But what Shay illuminated goes far beyond the superficial understanding most of us have. When we talk about the mind body connection, we're not just saying that stress can give you a headache or that exercise releases endorphins. We're talking about something much more fundamental: the reality that there is no separation. Your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations are not just connected, they're expressions of the same integrated system. Think about the last time you felt truly anxious. Where did you feel it? Maybe your chest tightened, perhaps your stomach churned, your thoughts raced, your breathing changed. That wasn't just your mind affecting your body or your body affecting your mind. That was your whole self responding as one unified system. This isn't new age philosophy. This is neuroscience. This is endocrinology. This is immunology. The research is clear. Every thought triggers a cascade of biochemical reactions. Every emotion has a physiological signature. Every physical sensation shapes our mental landscape. And yet, our healthcare system continues to fragment us. Mental health over here, physical health over there, spiritual wellness, that's your personal business, not medicine's concern. Sexual health, let's not even go there. It's like trying to fix a car by working on the engine, transmission, and wheels separately without acknowledging they're all part of the same vehicle. Absurd when you think about it that way, isn't it? But as Shay powerfully articulated, true healing demands wholeness. It requires us to honor all dimensions of our experience: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and yes, sexual too. In Atlanta, a groundbreaking postpartum wellness program for Black mothers demonstrated this principle in action. These women weren't just dealing with physical recovery after childbirth, they were navigating a complex web of challenges: isolation, lack of culturally competent care, systemic inequities, and the emotional whirlwind of new motherhood. The program's approach wasn't to address these issues separately. Instead, they created an integrated support system. Mental health circles led by Black nurses and doulas, nutrition workshops, gentle movement practices, and crucially, peer storytelling sessions that normalize vulnerability around postpartum struggles. The results: measurable improvements in mood, increased rates of breastfeeding, and stronger social support networks. This wasn't achieved by treating symptoms in isolation. It came from honoring the whole person and all their interconnected needs. This brings me to the second insight from my conversation with Shay. Your lived experience is not just something to overcome, it's powerful fuel for change. We live in a culture that often tells us to get over our struggles, to push past our pain, to leave our difficulties behind. But what if those very experiences, the ones that have challenged us most deeply, contain the seeds of our greatest wisdom and strength? What if your postpartum depression journey isn't just something to survive, but contains insights that could help other mothers? But what if your autoimmune condition isn't just a limitation, but a teacher that's showing you a new way to listen to your body? This isn't about romanticizing suffering. It's about recognizing that our challenges can become our teachers if we're willing to listen deeply enough. A pilot study with mid career Black professional women experiencing burnout illustrated this principle beautifully. These women were caught in the crushing vice of workplace stressors and caregiving responsibilities. Many showed early signs of hypertension or autoimmune flare ups triggered by chronic stress, what some call superwoman syndrome. The holistic coaching they received didn't just offer generic stress management techniques, it invited them into a process of guided self reflection that helped them reconnect with their identity beyond job titles and motherhood status. It helped them translate their lived experiences into wisdom that could fuel meaningful change. After 3 months, 75% reported improved energy levels. Burnout decreased significantly. And perhaps most importantly, these women developed enhanced confidence in advocating for boundaries at work and home. Their struggles hadn't disappeared, but they had been transformed from burdens into sources of insight and empowerment. As one participant put it, I stopped seeing my exhaustion as a personal failure and started seeing it as information, my body's wisdom telling me something needed to change. This leads us to Shay's third revolutionary insight. Health isn't just about physical fitness, it's about reclaiming your identity. Think about how narrowly we define health in our culture. It's about weight, BMI, blood pressure, cholesterol levels. It's about how you look in your clothes or how far you can run. But what about joy? What about purpose? What about pleasure? What about spiritual connection? Aren't these essential dimensions of being fully alive? For women, and again, particularly for Black women, this narrow definition of health becomes especially problematic when layered with societal expectations about how we should look, how much we should accomplish, how many roles we should juggle flawlessly. We are expected to be tireless professionals, nurturing caregivers, supportive partners, engage community members, and still somehow maintain picture perfect health. It's exhausting and it's impossible. It's like trying to win a game where the rules keep changing, the field is tilted, and no matter how well you play, you're told you're not quite good enough. What Shay advocates instead is a radical reclaiming of identity that places your wholeness at the center. Health becomes not about meeting external standards, but about honoring your unique needs, desires, and purposes. An online collective founded by two Black female therapists demonstrated this approach through virtual retreats centered around spiritual growth and sexual empowerment. These are dimensions of wellness often stigmatized or ignored, especially for women of color. Many attendees initially expressed discomfort discussing sexuality or spirituality openly due to cultural taboos or religious upbringing. These weren't just personal hangups, they reflected deeper disconnections from essential aspects of their identities. The retreats blended meditation with sacred movement classes and created safe spaces for honest conversation. Facilitators modeled vulnerability through their own narratives as faith driven professionals reclaiming pleasure and well being after trauma or illness. The outcomes were profound: increased comfort discussing intimate topics, greater sense of agency over personal choices, and improved body image and self esteem. These women weren't just getting healthier in the conventional sense, they were becoming more fully themselves. And isn't that what true health is? The ability to show up fully in your life, embracing all dimensions of who you are. So, where do we go from here? How do we begin to apply these revolutionary insights in our own lives? Shay suggests starting with just 5 minutes of intentional self awareness each day. Choose one area, mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical, that feels neglected. Then give it your full, compassionate attention. Maybe that means journaling about how your body feels after eating certain foods. Maybe it's taking a quiet moment before bed to simply breathe deeply. Maybe it's acknowledging an emotion you've been pushing away. The practice itself isn't complicated, but its impact can be profound because in those moments of awareness, you begin to heal the fragmentation. You start to reclaim your wholeness. As I reflect on my conversation with Shay, I'm struck by how radical this message truly is in a world that profits from our disconnection. Think about it. Diet culture thrives when we're at war with our bodies. Productivity culture flourishes when we ignore our emotional needs. Consumer culture prospers when we seek external solutions for internal emptiness. To reclaim our wholeness is, in many ways, an act of resistance. It's saying, I refuse to be fragmented. I refuse to be reduced. I'm not just a body to be shaped, or a mind to be optimized, or a spirit to be elevated. I am all of these things inseparably, gloriously, complexly human. This is the revolution that Shay Gordon is leading, a revolution of wholeness. And it begins with each of us having the courage to see ourselves not as collections of separate parts, but as integrated beings worthy of integrated care. I challenge you today. Reject the fragmentation that our culture imposes. Refuse the narrative that says your worth is tied to how productive you are, how you look, or how little space you take up. Instead, claim your right to be whole. Start with one small act of integration. Listen to your body when it speaks to you through sensations. Honor your emotions as messengers, not inconveniences. Acknowledge your spiritual needs as legitimate parts of your health. Recognize your sexual well being as essential to your vitality. This isn't just about feeling better, though you will. This is about reclaiming your power. Because when we heal the artificial divisions within ourselves, we become forces of transformation in our families, our communities, and our world. The path to true healing isn't about fixing what's broken, it's about remembering what's whole. It's about reclaiming the wisdom that lives in your body, the power that resides in your lived experience, and the fullness of an identity that transcends any single dimension. Your wholeness is your birthright. Claim it, protect it, celebrate it, and watch as it becomes not just the foundation of your own healing, but a catalyst for healing everything you touch. Thank you